Hey, hello leaders. This is Paul Grau Jr. and welcome to Run to Your Leadership Challenges. Got to apologize for my voice right off the bat because, man, it's ragweed season and my allergies are killing me. So if I sound a little hoarse, it's just my voice is going out. So today, welcome to the show. And I want to talk about something. And this was actually, I kind of planned what I was going to talk about today. Last week, I always do the following the following week's schedule, all right, and the topics that I'm going to discuss. And today was how high performance leaders have discipline. And funny enough, or oddly enough, or ironically enough, however you want to look at it, point in case, I don't have to say anything further than this whole Jumbotron scandal that's going on, all right, at the Coldplay concert. This astronomer CEO was caught on the kiss cam with his head of HR, and lo and behold, it went viral on TikTok and all kinds of other social media outlets or platforms. And since that happened, the astronomer CEO stepped down. I believe the HR woman, the woman that was in HR, heading up HR, I believe she stepped down as well. But this is a point in case of why I wanted to talk about how high-performing leaders have discipline. Because discipline is just I think it's making sure that people do what they're supposed to do. So high-performing leaders, yeah, they discipline their people as needed. They hold their people accountable as needed. But all of that starts with yourself, with themselves. If you're a leader, discipline starts with you. You have to be disciplined. You have to know what the policies are, what the standards are, and you have got to live by them. And this goes for whether you're at work or out of work. And there's no better point in case than the astronomer Jumbotron kiss cam scandal that's going on right now. I mean, I'm not going to say names. You can just look it up. If you haven't seen it, I'm shocked because it's everywhere. I mean, everywhere I look, I can't get away from it. I feel bad for the spouses and the kids, and, you know, it's terrible what they're going through right now and how they had to find out this way. One thing for sure is it really drives home the point how leaders are under the magnifying glass. You are always going to be looked at. You are always going to be expected to be above and beyond what's expected of your people. Because when they look at you, they are going to mirror what you say and what you do. Not necessarily what the book and the policies and the standards say. They're going to look at you as their example to follow. Now, a couple of things that I wanted to talk about is, are you holding your people and team members accountable? And if you are holding them accountable and they don't follow a procedure or a policy or a standard, what are you doing about it? Because if you're going to say you hold them accountable, you have got to have some kind of disciplinary action that takes place once they break one of the policies or standards. If you are holding them accountable, you must be able to hold yourself accountable first, like I already said. But you want to do it above and beyond. Like I said, you want to lead by example. And if you've been listening at any time at this podcast, you know that I always say lead by the right example. Because if you think of it, everybody leads by example. But a lot of times, that example is not a good way. And you might follow a leader that's not leading by the right example down the wrong path. So I add the right to lead by example. Lead by the right example. If you want to know what the right example is, look at your company's ethics policy. Look at your standards and your procedures and your policies that you have to follow. That is the right example. And try not to just meet them, try to exceed the standards. And again, on the job and off the job, it doesn't really matter, because if somebody you work with sees you outside of work, you are still their leader. You might not be at work, but they're still you're still their leader, and they expect things from you that are above and beyond. If you discipline them and if you hold them accountable, is it okay to let them slide one time? What if it's your best employee, best team member, most skilled, most knowledgeable, best attitude, and they screw up? Are you going to let them slide when you discipline everybody else? Well, if you do, you are creating a new standard. A new standard that's not only a new standard, but it's approved by you because you let it slide. So, as a minimum, you have got to hold them accountable in some way, shape, or form. Sure, there might be levels of discipline, but get that figured out ahead of time. If you have no idea what kind of discipline you're going to hand out, if somebody breaks certain policies, well, when they break the policies, probably is not the best time to figure out what your disciplinary action is going to be. Try to write that up. Try to be consistent with all the other leaders in your organization. Because if you are, that's going to lead to strong accountability across the board. You'll have people policing themselves. So I do want to add one thing here, because if you think about discipline, and if you are thinking, man, I'm a leader, but I'm just not going to discipline my people. Well, I don't think you're off to a very good start as a leader, or I don't think you're ever going to be a great leader, because your best people, they want to be disciplined. Because discipline, when you discipline other people, it tells them that you love them. You love them enough to correct them when they're not doing what needs to be done. Because through correction, we become better. Through feedback, we become better. Through discipline, we learn what not to do, and we become better. If you think about it, discipline is biblical. Proverbs 13:24, NIV version, says, "Whoever spares the rod hates their children, but the one who loves their children is careful to discipline them." The English Standard Version, it says, "Whoever spares the rod hates his son, but he who loves him is diligent to discipline." So there you go. Now, we're talking about leadership here, but as a father disciplining their children, it's the same difference if you're a father disciplining your child or you're a leader disciplining somebody on your team. Because if you think of it, you are like the father or the mother if you are the leader of that team. You set the standards. You set the rules. And if somebody messes up, it's your responsibility to get them back on track. That's it for today. But again, you are a leader on duty, off duty, or at work, outside of work. Heck, on vacation, you're a leader. And people are looking up for you. So try to lead by the right example all the time. Do you have to be perfect? No, you don't have to be perfect. Nobody's perfect. However, we do need to go above and beyond to try to exceed the policies and standards every chance we get. Hey, that's it for today. Come on back tomorrow, and until then, run to your challenges. We'll see you.